Hey friends, Trisha Clark with Sparkle Farts Paper Crafts here. Your feedback has been so great on the Whimsical Frog box kit that I documented the dimensions for you, and I'm going to share that in a picture. And I will, now let me be clear, I'm not an engineer, but I wanted to share the dimensions because a couple of you really liked the project, and I know that I was challenging one of you to make one with me, and let's see how different they turn out. But I just wanted to walk you through the instructions really quick. I'm not going to build another box, but I've lined out, we have, let me get the lace out of here. We have this bottom panel here, and it is 8 1/4 by 6, and it doesn't need any scoring. Then the back panel here is 8 1/4 wide by 6 3/4 tall. And we're only scoring on that bottom edge. Okay, so we're going to score it 1/2 inch on that 8 1/4 inch side. Then the front panel is 8 1/4 wide by 3 1/2 inches tall. And that 1/2 inch score, so this will end up being 3 inches, but you're going to score at 1/2 inch to attach it to that bottom panel. So that's what each one of these is going to show you. This is an error. Side A here, this one is cut at 6 1/2 inches wide by 4 1/2 inches tall, and you score at 1/2 inch on all 3 sides. Okay, so that's what these little dotted lines are. You're going to do that for both sides. Now, you can choose then to cut at an angle or to leave it straight across. That's up to you. And then what you're going to do is you're going to lay that bottom panel down, and you're going to start by gluing that hinge of the back panel and the front panel to that bottom panel. Then you're going to glue the bottom hinge of the side panels on each side and fold them up. And then you can choose whether you're going to glue the front and back panels to those side panel hinges, and that will create your box, and then you can decorate it however you'd like. So that's the box. And then I thought I would build the second folio with you today because the construction is going to be the same, where you get to throw in your own creativity. I mean, you can do your own thing no matter what. But where we're going to throw in the creativity is what you do with the flips and the flaps. And so this is the one I showed you the other day. My intention is for these to be horizontal. You could also do them vertical and then just store them horizontally in the box. I just wanted to do something different and do them horizontal. So the scoring and cutting we're going to do will work either way. I'm just going to walk you through the basic measurements that fit in that box. So we have a standard file folder in US size. This is 11 1/2 inches tall, and by the time we spread it out, it's 18 inches wide with the tabs. So I'm going to start on this side. Actually, I don't know why. I just, I want to do this one a little opposite of what I did the other one. That's the only reason, changing it up so they don't all look exactly the same. Oh shoot, sorry. I'm dropping things all over the place. So what we're going to do here, and again, I will post a picture of this in here as well, or if you want to screenshot this. But before we get started on that, I'm going to give you a second to screenshot this, but I will also share it in the group. So grab a screenshot of those dimensions. I know I try to grab screenshots sometimes and they move so fast I can't catch it. All right, so here are the folio dimensions. I am no engineer. I can't tell you how many file folders I ruined in the process of trying to figure out what I wanted to do because I had a harebrained idea. So this is not going to be perfect. I'm sharing with you my process and what I did. And hopefully it makes it a little bit easier for you to create one if you haven't before. So we have 11 1/2 by 18. And the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold it back up, but only because I want to score this at 8, and it's going to be easier for me to do that on my scoreboard. Let's go this way. Yes. Right? Right. Got to think about this. Yes, this is long. I want to score it 8 here because that will become our pockets, flips, or extra pieces to decorate with. I'm not walking through that. I'm just walking through the scoring, and then you can decide how you want to do the rest of it. I don't even know how I want to do this one yet. Okay, so we want it to be 8 here. Yes. Okay, so we're going to turn it this way. And we're going to score at 8 because that's how tall, that's how wide I want my folio to be. Okay. Now this becomes the extra pieces. It can become your pockets. Again, this is dealer's choice. This is where you get to decide. What I did on this one for the 8 is I cut everything off and then reattach them, deciding where I wanted them. But you could just as easily, I will leave them attached for now and show you another option. So we're gonna cut or score at 8 on that long end. Now here, we are gonna start with a score at 4 3/4, right here. You can leave this natural fold, or I'm gonna score at 9 1/2. And then I'm going to score at 14 1/2, which is 3 1/2 inches from that side. I'm going to flip that over just because the math is easier for me that way. Okay. And I don't know that I want that piece scored, so let's do just to there. Okay. So what we have now is the bones of our folio, right? This could be, you fold this one in here and this one in here. And depending on your file folder, you may have to make some adjustments here. I'm not finding that it's always perfect because I don't think these are all cut perfectly straight. But then this folds and this could be your front. See? So there's a folio. And then you could cut these off and decide that you want this as a straight panel and this as a pocket. You could leave this as a pocket. So many options. File folders are amazing for folios. So that is, and I think what I'm going to do, this first one, I had folded like this. And that was going to be my front because I want mine horizontal. And I don't want this one to look the same. I think I want this one to be, I think I want this. So mine are going to be horizontal. I think I want to do this with this one. And I've got to figure out the rest of it. And this will be folio number 2. I basically just wanted to walk you through my instructions. So here you can take a picture of that. But I wanted to explain what all of these were. So this is the file folder completely unfolded. We scored at 8, and this can become your flaps or your extras or your pockets. And then we scored at 4 3/4, 9 1/2, and 14 1/2. You can adjust those however you want. The big trick is just making sure that it folds up appropriately. And if not, you just may have to trim a little bit somewhere. So there it is. I'll post the pictures here in the group as well. Maybe Sandra, let me put it in the, maybe there's a files section. But anyway, I hope that you will create this box and this folio journal with me. I think it'll be fun, and I would love to see how everyone's turns out. So thanks for watching.